Okay, so a quick video on my homemade compressor for those that want to make this unit. I mean, it's effective. I really like it. And so let's go over the dimensions. The most important thing to know is the dimensions of this. Okay, so for the wood body of this, which was from a pine stake that you use to, let's see here, like put signs on or for landscaping and surveying. Okay, so let's see here. So that is 7 inches. Okay, it's 7 inches long, so cut it to that because it's obviously bigger when you get it. 7 inches. The neck on this, the neck is 5 inches from the top right there to the bottom, so 5 inches. And then vitally important that I want to get across to people, this is a 1/2 inch. Try not to get it any bigger than a 1/2 inch. Through trial and error, I know that that fits well inside the Red Ryder body, 1/2 inch. All right, a little bit under is okay. You don't want it too skinny, but shoot for that. And then for the thickness of this neck, let me get a better angle. Okay, I shot for 3/4 of an inch, so try to get it right on the head at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just calling out the numbers if you can't, even if you can't see them. So 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. And you don't want it any skinnier than that, or this could be too brittle. It could break trying to tackle your spring. Also, you notice I have 3 small screws. They don't have to be big. Obviously, get them under 1/2 inch if possible. They're strong enough. They only need 3 or 4 threads on them. So 3 if you can manage it. This is a strap tie. This 20 gauge sheet metal. Okay. And I went for 3 screws. I actually drilled an extra one. It had 2 screws holes in it, and I actually drilled an extra one. So as far as okay, the tools, you'll just need a cutter. I use Lennox cutters. And let's give you some more vital stats though, because you need to know the prongs. The prongs are vital that those are done right. So those are exactly 2 inches on the head, 2 inches. And the deflections, which are the slight bends you see there, they have to be slight. When I try to make it really sharp, then it doesn't get in your gun, doesn't work. You don't want them straight. You want baby deflections so they can grab that spring and not fold around it. And if they're too hard of deflections, then what happens is it just doesn't get in your gun. It can't get around the back of your plunger. Okay, so baby deflections, use a vise. I would say use a vise for that and put small bends on there. Okay. Now, as far as the thickness of these, it is really important. Trial and error. I've gone through this over and over again. 6 to 7/16. 6 to 7, not 8. Definitely not 9. If you measure it at 8/16 and cut about right on the line, you should be okay. But my success with this has been 6 and 7/16. I would keep it under 8/16 for the actual thickness of the prongs. 2 inches, 6 to 7/16. Okay. And let's see, I don't think there's anything else I need to really talk about. I did this all with hand tools, a handsaw and a workbench. Purposely did that. You can, you use electric drill, obviously, but I just use a portable little hand drill. And that's it. As far as pilot holes, you definitely want to make sure to get it up here towards the top, because in earlier versions I did split the wood depending. So you don't want to split that. You can use a Gorilla Tape if you do it, and it'll be fine. But I would make little pilot holes. I think that's a good idea, as long as you're steady. Okay. Now, as far as the screws on this, you'll see that they're offset. So they're offset. One's here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And you want to make sure they're offset. Don't line them up, especially at the top. You don't want those things lined up at the top. That obviously is not going to work. So one's up here and one's a little lower. So 3 on each side. And then finish off, I'll just talk about using that Sharpie marker and how low was that from the top. So that is from the top of that wood shaft. That is 3 1/4. 3 1/4 right on the head. So from the top of that wood shaft, 3 1/4. And that will make sure that you just push down to that point right there. This wood shaft actually hits the plunger, so it acts like a bumper. And it's very precise. A lot of trial and error with this, folks. Try to use good cutters. I use very good cutters on this side. I tried to use another pair on this side. It was a little bit more rough, but it came out okay. But I switched cutters. So make sure the cutters are good. Okay, so that's what you need to know. And you can make this in about an hour if you are good with tools and have all that going for you. Yeah, okay, oh yeah. And then the length of that metal piece right there in its entirety is 7 inches. 7 inches from the top of the prongs to the base. Okay. Good luck.